Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. Happy spring, folks. It's a season of new beginnings, fresh flowers, and an occasional bee sting. But hey, at least it's not winter anymore. Am I right? Excuse me. And sure, maybe the fashion industry is trying to convince us we need a whole new wardrobe just because the weather's changing. But let's be real, folks. You probably got clothes you haven't even worn much. And you can always go back to 1982 Aloha shirts. They're good year after year. But, I mean, really, do we need a new set of patio furniture every year? Or new wardrobe just because the colors of the seasons have changed? It's just another excuse to make us spend money we don't have on things we really don't need. So, let's not forget about spring cleaning. Sure, it's a pain in the butt, but it's also a chance to declutter your life and start fresh. Plus, who doesn't feel accomplished after you got a good deep clean? But the real reason to celebrate spring, all the fun things that come with warmer weather, like picnics, barbecues, outdoor concerts. Yeah. So go on, enjoy the season, and don't forget to stop and smell the roses. Unless you're allergic, in which case, carry on. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee and Nuance Show, the best censored commentary and news show live. Right now. Flame on. All right, thanks everyone for joining me today. Spring is here. Pardon me, spring is here. I'm not doing too well, as you can probably tell by my voice. But it's okay, I'm getting it out of the way so I can enjoy the rest of spring shortly. But I got some interesting stories today. We're going to talk about Trump perhaps going to jail, being in handcuffs. Oh no, what will the repercussions of that be? Some places have called for an end of spring break for good reason. I got an update about Colombia from a story I told you last week. Also, breaking news, another update about France that just broke this hour, which I didn't have a story for, but I'll give you an update on that. Xi of China is calling for an end to the war in Ukraine. I'll get to that. And today is the International Day of Happiness. So I'll tell you all about that. But first, let's talk about spring and how awesome is spring. It really is one of my favorite times of the year, and the reason that I like it so much is I like fresh starts. It's always, I can trick myself and say it's going to be better this time. This is the year I get it all together. This is the year I get my spring cleaning actually done. This is the year the garage gets cleaned out, right? This is the year I lose all the weight. This is the year I make everything happen. And more so than New Year's resolutions, I really like spring because January 1st, especially here in Oregon, I mean, it's miserable. It's hard to start anything new. It's hard to see awesome possibilities. But now, right? First day of spring, it was beautiful this weekend here in Portland. Absolutely stunning. So, it really just gets me excited about what I'm going to do this year. What are you going to do this spring? Let me know. Put those in the comments, and I will read them in the after show today. So after the outro, I will read them. And just a reminder, if you're not watching this show live, and thank you for all the people that are watching it live, and, is that it? Hitting the like button. If you're not watching it live, I do time mark the video. I put in timestamps afterwards, And so if there's a story you're not interested in, you can just skip to the next story. Just look in the description of the video and you can click the time code and it should take you to the next thing. Now, that doesn't quite yet work on Rumble. Perhaps they'll add time codes in the future, but I will put the time of each story in the description of the video. So if you're watching on Rumble and on Friday's edition of the show, almost twice as many people watched the video on Rumble than they did on YouTube. So that's great news, although there's not a whole lot of interaction over there on Rumble, not getting many likes, not getting many comments. So if you're watching on Rumble, please add a comment, add a like. That really helps the show grow. Add a like if you like it. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But, hitting the thumbs up button doesn't cost anything. So let's get to a couple stories today. The first story actually is, I don't even have a chyron for it because I'm a little under the weather. And although I wrote a summary of this article, I didn't put it in my thing. So let me just let's pretend that I have graphics for it, shall we? Has to do with the Biden administration, and they've quietly resumed deportations to Russia, including asylum seekers who fled Russia fearing conscription to fight in Ukraine. Immigration advocates were surprised by the move, which appears to be a reversal of the administration's position after Russia invaded Ukraine just a year ago. The resumption of deportations has caused confusion for migrants and their advocates who thought they'd be protected from deportation. Two of Texas-based attorney Jennifer Scarborough's clients remain in legal limbo as they're out of options in their request for asylum, while one has already been deported to Russia. Okay, so, yeah, like Biden is now changing the deportation policy to Russia. It's amazing. If you need political asylum and you are from Honduras or something, sure, just come to the southern border. But if you're from Russia and you are seeking asylum, well, tough. I thought we were supposed to look at every asylum case individually. I thought that's what we need in America, and we need more immigrants, right? They keep telling us that we need more immigrants. Well, there's a good chance, some of these Russians that have the means to travel to the U.S. Might be nice additions to the country, but apparently not for Joe Biden. Not when you have a very cozy relationship with Ukraine. So that is quite stunning. The border can be essentially wide open. We've taken in 2 million people across the border since he took office. But just don't be Russian. Just don't be Russian, because they are the boogeyman of 2023. The Cold War is back in effect. Apparently Joe Biden does not want any Russians coming to America, which is really too sad. Really too sad. I like the idea of having a smaller world and having people from all over be here. And I think if you're seeking asylum, you should be able to at least put your case in and not just have it rejected based on the country of origin. I don't see Russia as our enemy, but apparently Joe Biden does. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that in the comments, and let's get to the next story. All right, I hear, and this is about a Trump indictment. We heard about this over the weekend. Former President Donald Trump faces multiple investigations, and his prediction that he could be arrested this week, perhaps tomorrow, in his attempt to ignite a preemptive backlash, has made what has been a theoretical prospect of an ex-president and a 2024 candidate being criminally charged appear much more real. Yeah. Trump's being investigated for a payment to Stormy Daniels. Possibility of Trump being charged as implications for the Republican Party, as many lawmakers are obliged to appease him to preserve their political careers. An indictment of a former president would be unprecedented in U.S. history and mark another dubious distinction around Trump, or at least people's reaction to Trump, right? Who's already an active candidate for the 2024 White House race. Now, this really is unprecedented. This Attorney General in New York going after Trump. If they put him in handcuffs, he's the next president. That's my prediction. This is a really bad look. This has been a thing in our country, a tradition, a proud tradition, that you don't go after the guy before you. You just don't do it. Because if that's the case, frankly, every president in my lifetime, if you were to look at it objectively, they're a war criminal. Every single one. And if you were to then charge the previous president of the crimes that they committed, you could really never even have a president again. Because every president like I say, for at least the last 50 years, is technically a war criminal. Every one of them. Trump did let Hillary off the hook. He said, she's suffered enough. We shouldn't prosecute her. He let her off the hook for the email scandal that surrounded the Clintons, having it on a private server. And if this goes through in New York tomorrow, I don't even know what to think. I think people have definitely lost their minds around Trump. But if you give him that ammunition of frog walking him, putting him in cuffs, if you put him in cuffs, it's over. It's over. He'll be the next president, or it's the end of the country. This is a terrible look. It really is. And no matter what you think about Trump, you can think he's the worst ever. In our country, you don't go after former presidents. You just don't do it. I know that everyone should be equal under the law, but not presidents. Not presidents. So if that makes me a traditionalist or something, so be it. But there would be very good reason to go after every single former president. And we haven't done that. Let's not start now. So, I don't know. What do you think about that? Have you even heard the news that was going to happen? It was kind of the big news this weekend. But let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Spring break. Miami Beach Mayor Dan Gelber announced a curfew from 11:59 p.m. Sunday till 6 a.m. Monday after 2 fatal shootings on Ocean Drive over the weekend. The curfew was implemented due to excessive, large, and unruly crowds of spring breakers and out-of-city visitors. Hotels can still remain open, but businesses must close by midnight. The curfew will likely be imposed again from Thursday through next Monday, March 27th. Emergency powers to control large crowds. So, yeah, things have been crazy over the weekend, especially down there in Miami. It's it's an interesting thing, and I don't even know exactly how to cover this story. I've seen video clips online, and I don't know how accurate they are, but everything that I'm seeing just, it looks crazy in Miami. And I don't know, like, how do you even report on such a thing if everything you're seeing, I don't even know how to say it without being, politically correct or whatever. It looks crazy there in Miami, and I was not aware that it was so popular with certain groups. But I don't even recognize it. When I see these clips online, I don't even recognize it. It doesn't look like a civilized country to me. Seeing these clips, these people going crazy, people going into stores, people jumping up and down on cars, just street brawls all over the place. Doesn't look good at all. And if that's the case, yeah, cancel it. Just straight up cancel spring break. No spring break for you. Or the other option is to roll in the police. We shouldn't put up with this. We shouldn't put up with people rioting. We've done so much for the January 6th thing, and I do believe, in my opinion, that the punishment on people that were caught up in January 6th is much higher punishment than it needs to be. But a lot of those people still in jail waiting their trial, and then you just have absolute mayhem on the streets of Miami for spring break. And apparently, no big deal. We don't arrest people. We don't lock them up. We just, let them act the way that they do. Yeah, I'm not going to show those clips. You can look them up if you want to, but it's really crushing to me to see people behave in such a poor manner. Really does. And I guess I sound like an old man now, because in my day, spring break was for partying, not for riots. So whatever. Let's get to a couple updates. All right, this is an update from a story last week. I think it was last week. Colombian President Gustavo Petro has suspended a 6-month ceasefire with Clan del Golfo, the country's largest criminal organization, after it attacked police. Can't do that. The clan is also known as Gatansta Self-Defense Forces, AGC. The ceasefire was part of an effort to end the group's involvement in Colombia's internal conflict, which has killed at least 450,000 people. Petro accused the group of destroying a municipal aqueduct in Antigua province amid roadblocks connected to protests by informal gold miners. The government has given orders for military forces and the national police to develop, quote, offensive operations against the Clan de Golfo. So, yeah, I told you about this peace negotiation that was supposed to last through June, a ceasefire between the Colombian government and the cartels, the criminal organizations, the guerrilla groups down in Colombia. Well, it didn't hold. And yeah, if you attack the cops and you try to destroy an aqueduct, yeah, ceasefire's over. So I don't know. I don't know enough about Colombian politics. You know, you have to try different things. The new president of Colombia, he just took office last fall. He's trying something new. He thought maybe, you know, we'll try a ceasefire. We'll try to have peace with these groups. Turns out you can't do that. A lot of people would have suspected that from the get-go, but I commend President Petro for giving it a shot, right? He tried. It didn't work. Now, what's your plan B? What's your plan B? Get to that, and let's see if they can make Colombia great again, right? All right. I have one more update that just came out just as I was getting ready for the show. And that is about France. Turned out there was an election or a vote of no confidence for President Macron. It just happened, and it did not pass. So Macron still in power, his party still holding on by a thread to their power in France. But I suspect there will be more protests, and this rise against him appears to be growing stronger every day. So that's the update. Hopefully, you know, if there's more to it than that, I will tell you about that tomorrow. But let's get to another story. All right. Chinese President Xi Jinping called for a rational way out of the Ukraine crisis, but acknowledged it will not be easy to reach a solution. Xi is due to meet Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow, his first visit since Russian troops entered Ukraine in February of last year. Xi suggested that discussions could be based on China's 12-point proposal for a political settlement. Putin has welcomed China's willingness to play a constructive role in ending the conflict in Ukraine and has high expectations for the talk. China's not condemned the war in Ukraine, but criticized international sanctions imposed on Russia. So that is the thing. I don't think that the war will end in Ukraine unless the U.S. decides that it wants to end it. I hope the U.S. decides to end it. But that's really what it's up to. I don't think it's up to Ukraine. I don't think it's up to Russia. Voice has just changed again. It will end when the United States decides that they're done with this proxy war. But I don't see that happening very soon. That's my prediction. So we'll see what happens this month. But you know, it's a new season. Spring is here, so perhaps there'll be some change in the air. Okay. I got one more story. I don't have a graphic for it either. I just found this funny. Elon Musk owner of a social network, you know Elon, he announced a new media relations plan on Sunday in which journalists who contact the company's press department will be greeted with a poop emoji. Yeah. Musk's use of distasteful symbol has generated backlash in the past. The company's used it as evidence in a lawsuit alleging that Musk violated his obligations under a merger deal. Musk purchased the social network under the promise of promoting free speech. So that is the new reply, the auto-reply that you get if you contact the press department at Twitter. And I did it. I don't have a graphic for it, but you can send a email to Twitter's media relations team. I did. I asked for a comment on this story, and it is correct. It replied with a poop emoji. So I did get that in an email. You can try it for yourself. As always, I do list the sources. I have archived sources of every story I cover today in the description of the video, so you can check that out afterwards if you are interested. But let's get to some good news. We need some damn good news. The International Day of Happiness is celebrated on March 20th to recognize happiness and well-being as universal goals for people around the world. The day promotes the idea that happiness can be achieved through different means, such as strong social connections, positive mental health, personal fulfillment. The theme of International Day of Happiness 2023 is be mindful, be grateful, be kind. The day also emphasizes the power of spreading positivity and happiness, and it serves as a reminder to prioritize well-being and promote positive mental health. Well, I, for one, am happy that it is the first day of spring, the International Day of Happiness. What makes you happy? I always need suggestions. What makes me happy? I don't know. I'm pretty easy, I guess. I get happy if people reply to a text, you know? Treat me like a human being and just not ignore me. I'm happy when I'm teaching my dance class and there's a group of people all dancing along to fun music. That makes me happy. I'm happy taking my dog to the park, have her pull me on my longboard. That brings her joy, and it brings me joy as well. There's lots of things that can make you happy. If you got anything unusual that makes you happy, let me know in the comments. I don't have a whole lot today. I just don't have the mental energy to do this. So that's the show that I have for you today. Stick around in the after show, and I'll answer your comments. I appreciate you all so much. Hopefully I'll get some some healing power from the first day of spring, and I'll be back stronger than ever tomorrow. But until then, peace. Hey everybody, thanks for sticking around for the after show. Looking over here on Rumble, and we got some comments. We got a number of comments, so that is awesome. Apothecary John stopped by over there. Flames in the chat, nice. Duggo's there. What's up, Doug? Nice to see you as always. Rev68 is there. Hashtag Rumble Gang. I am feeling a little bit more positive about Rumble now. Yesterday, I did get about twice as many views, or not, whatever, over the weekend. The last show, Friday's show, got about twice as many views on Rumble as it did on YouTube. Good for Rumble, not good for YouTube. That doesn't make me feel good that so few people saw it on YouTube, but whatever, that's okay. But I am seeing more and more promotion for Rumble as a platform. I don't know how to break out on Rumble and get my videos seen. because it doesn't seem to have much of an algorithm or to recommend me to anyone. It seems most of the people over there know about me from YouTube, so it is what it is. But Rev68 says, don't Russians know that they are the Democrat Party scapegoat? I don't know if they know that or not. TBH, to be honest. You should tweet more. Yeah, you know what? I need to learn how to tweet better. I'm not much of a tweeter. Something about Twitter just doesn't work for my brain. It's hard for me to follow any story. But yes, I do need to up my Twitter game. Thank you for the suggestion. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, and I just want to acknowledge me. Over on Twitter. Okay, well, I guess it's stuck. So, what are you going to do? But Apothecary John, again, we got the same people going everywhere. I appreciate that, John, over there on Twitch. So Twitch is something that I still need to explore more. I should probably just do some streaming there that's not necessarily the show. Just streaming, just to learn more about it and to try to build something up over there. But let's see what's happening over here on YouTube. Legalese was asking about this. This is not a candle. This is actually a tiki brand. It's technically an outdoor table candle, if you will, and it has a little pod in it that you can put in the fuel. You can put in fuel that is like citronella or whatever, so it will burn and keep mosquitoes away. I think it works quite well. But that's what this is. You sound rough. Yeah, I don't feel good. Do I have the COVID? Well, I don't know. I mean, I did take a COVID test. What was it? A week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and my COVID test was negative then. So I hope I didn't get it afterwards. I don't have any more tests. So what are you going to do? But I am going to the doctor tomorrow, so I'll see what's up. I feel like Tom's so sick I'm going to catch the COVID watching the show. Can't catch it through watching shows. Come on. Says literal Tom. Yeah. A shot of whiskey cures everything. 2 shots is twice as good. Well, I appreciate that advice. I might be taking you up on that following the show. I think spring cleaning is related to the Jewish feasts, especially Passover, because they have to clean out all the yeast from their homes, and they're supposed to be very thorough about it. Had not heard that, Natasha, but that's possible. That's possible. I know that I joke every year. I'm like, okay, spring cleaning. Let's see if I can get spring cleaning from 2011 done, because it's been like that long. Skilled immigrants would be nice, something to offer. Yeah, I do think that skilled immigrants seem to be, would help the country better than unskilled immigrants, but, that's just my take on it. Orange outfit really brings out his skin tone, says Natasha. Yeah, I can't imagine them putting Trump in an orange jumpsuit. I can't imagine them putting cuffs on. He'd probably be rooting for it, because it would be incredible, and his supporters would be all in at that point. So, yeah. I'm curious, what part of hush money does Stormy Daniels not understand? You know, the thing is with this, I don't even think that this charge against Trump, it's not even really important what the charge is. It's, do we go after former presidents? And I don't think I think this is a terrible precedent to set. And you can't pay hush money? What's illegal about that? You're bribing someone, right? You're paying someone off. That seems as American as apple pie. And if there's a problem with paying bribes, right, then there should probably be an issue with taking bribes. And yeah, so I don't think Joe Biden especially should be pushing for this. I think Joe Biden could definitely step in and tell them not to do it, but the New York prosecutors are doing exactly what the DNC is instructing them to do. I have no doubt about that. It's a coordinated campaign. They've obviously redefined spring break because that's how they dodge consequences. Yeah, get off my lawn, Tom. Yeah, that's I do feel like a get off my lawn that I'm saying that. That's also the name of Gavin McInnes's show over on Censored TV. I think it's a very good show, and I think he's a misunderstood person. I think if you rely on what the media has said about him, I don't think you have a really accurate view of what Gavin does. But his show's called Get Off My Lawn. I think it's good. And they do I think Fridays, their show is free. So you can check that out. Most of those still waiting for trial in jail for January 6th have served more than a reasonable sentence for trespassing, says Miranda. I agree. To me, it's, trespassing, if you got someone on video of actually destroying property, well, make them accountable for destroying property or whatever. But yeah, that whole prosecution's political, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Colombia great again. Cry laugh emoji from Lucid Moments of Reality 5150. I like Colombia. I was there last fall. I really liked it. Although I gotta say, I didn't see a whole lot of the country. I was only in one city, and I mainly stuck to the neighborhood that I was staying in, which was really nice. A lot of the city made me nervous. But I really did enjoy Colombia, and I hope that they are able to make things better down there. Didn't they, Putin and Ping, just end the petrodollar? Saw a headline somewhere. Essentially, the petrodollar's done. And the petrodollar, I feel like I need to make a documentary on the petrodollar, because this thing is so complicated, but yet so important to our understanding of how the world operates. But essentially, the petrodollar was done at the beginning of the Ukraine war, when Joe Biden announced that Russia did not have to, he would not allow Russia to pay for energy in US dollars. It could be, I don't know, the single dumbest presidential thing in my lifetime, or it's all by design to destroy our economy and destroy the world. I mean, that's an option too. Is it a mistake? Was it done on purpose? I don't know. But yeah, petrodollar is essentially done. The US dollar as the reserve currency of the world is on its way out. And this isn't good for inflation. It's not good for our economy. It's not good for your retirement. So yeah, happy, joy. Here late. Nice to see you, Doug. Yeah, Ren and Stimpy, that was fun. 50 likes equals happy. Well, 50 likes would make me really happy. I think we're at 10 likes now, so that's cool. When I feel worms in my garden, when I find worms in my garden, that makes me happy. They seem to have gone extinct, though. I don't know. I see lots of worms here, so you're happy to come over. We got lots of worms out in my yard right now. Family, music, good jokes make me happy. Oh, that's awesome, Miranda. Legalese says, I like Gavin. I do too. Nice daffodils. Just noticed them. Were they there the whole time? Yes, I put these here today. They're put them in a nice little tiki mug. But I just picked these from my front yard this morning because it's spring, and that's what it is about. Says, and just lastly, Duggo says, going after former presidents would be an amazing precedent. Why would we not want these criminals being held accountable? Because then there will never be a legit election again. Okay, that's why. Because, like, if Joe Biden knew, this is all hypothetical, YouTube, this is hypothetical. If Joe Biden knew that there was a chance that he would be put in prison if he lost the next election, that would 100% guarantee that he would not lose the election. All right? Simple as. So that's why you can't do that. We need to have faith in our institutions, and you can't have faith in that things are going to be on the up and up if there's a chance of going to prison if you lose. So that's my take on that. That's why it's so important that they don't do these things. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm going to go take some vitamin C and some bone broth and rest and try to get better and fix my voice and all that good stuff. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you all have a beautiful day, and I will see you mañana. Peace.